Are you looking at starting a trucking business and you're looking at the cost of insurance? In this video, I will go over the different types of insurance that you're going to need to get started, what the prices for those insurances can be, and my recommendation on where to start. Welcome back to Mystery of Money. My name is Nick, and if you're new here and looking for money tips and tricks, ways to make your business run more efficient, or just looking for more information on how to start or grow a business, start now by hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you don't miss anything. This video is going to be directed to the businesses that are just starting up. When you start out, insurance is going to be the highest cost that you're going to have to pay in your business. Without any prior experience, the rates that you're going to get are going to be much higher than, let's say, an established trucking company. There are going to be three basic types of insurance as far as actual trucking company goes. The first is going to be your basic liability insurance. This is going to cover you in the event of an accident that is your fault. Let's say you have a blowout of a tire and your rig loses control and takes out a minivan. The liability insurance is going to kick in to cover the medical damage and any other costs associated with the accident. Some of the costs that can be associated with an accident could be, let's say your landing gear on your trailer digs into the pavement and tears up 400 feet of roadway. That roadway needs to be replaced. All of those costs associated with those repairs is going to go against your liability insurance. The FMCA, or Federal Motor Carrier Association, lists a minimum liability insurance policy for a truck weighing over 10,000 pounds to be $750,000. If that same truck is carrying hazardous material, a policy of $5 million must be maintained, and that is due to the environmental impacts of a hazardous material spill. So that's your liability insurance. What's next is going to be your cargo insurance. So let's say you're hauling a load of TVs and now all those TVs have been smashed and they're no use to anyone. Your cargo insurance is going to cover the cost of that cargo that you're hauling. Now, depending on the type of cargo you haul is going to be determined how much cargo insurance you'll need. Those rates can widely vary from hauling flatbed steel to reefer full of ice cream. If you're trying to get your own authority, you cannot get your operating license until you have liability insurance. So let's talk about if you're going to lease onto a company. If you lease onto a company, they're going to provide you with the lettering on the side of your truck, and they're going to also provide your liability insurance. You're still going to need some other forms of insurance yourself. This is called unlimited liability insurance, or bobtail insurance, meaning that you will carry this insurance when you are not physically moving goods for that carrier or you're not physically attached to their trailers. This is going to come into play if you are bobtailing from the facility where you normally get your trailers to your home and you happen to get rear-ended or run into someone in an intersection. This is not nearly as expensive as the liability insurance because you're not hauling 80,000 pounds and potentially causing a lot more damage. This is going to be for minor incidents, like I was saying, running into someone at a red light, or even if you cause an accident on the highway. There's probably going to be limited damage if it's just your tractor. The other types of insurance on the tractor itself are going to be physical damage, which is going to be under the comprehensive and collision category. I'm not an insurance agent, I'm just taking a stab at this as someone who has insurance, but your comprehensive is something happens to your truck when you're not in it, and collision would be as if you hit someone else or if someone hits you and doesn't have insurance. So another type of insurance you may want to look into is if you house your truck on your own personal property, look to see that your homeowner's insurance will cover that truck, and if not, you may want to look at a separate property insurance policy. Now, if you have property insurance on your house, it may or may not cover your truck, so make sure you check with your agent on that. An example would be, let's say your truck is broken into while it's parked at your house and someone steals your CB or your ELD for some reason. I don't know why they would, but let's say they steal it. The property insurance would cover those types of issues. Now, other insurances that you're going to have to look at would be workers' comp if you're going to have employees. You may end up having occupational hazard insurance if you're leased onto a company, but you're a single member, owner, operator, because some states don't require you to have workers' compensation, but they do require some sort of occupational hazard insurance. That is usually taken out by the carrier and then passed on to you for the cost. So now, speaking of cost, since we're leased onto a carrier, we don't have to deal with liability insurance, but I have requested in the past when we were looking to get our own authority. And roughly from my experience, it looked around $10,000 per year per truck for just the liability insurance. Now let's compare that to what we carry as a leased company. We carry physical damage and unladen liability, or bobtail insurance. Our 3 trucks, our annual premium is somewhere around $12,000. We do get a discount because we pay the full amount of the policy at the beginning of the policy term, and a lot of that cost is based on the equipment that you run. Because our trucks are newer and because we added a newer truck not so long ago, our premium did go up about $1,400 this year. Check out this video here if you haven't. We also have some other elected coverages that would kick in. God forbid something happens to one of our trucks and hurts one of our drivers. It would help with their lost wages and income. as well as medical and things like that. But again, it's best bet to go and talk to your local agent about options that you may have. We carry full coverage on all the trucks, even though we could probably drop some of the coverage on one of our trucks that's paid off. I would rather have more insurance than less. Given the fact that the truck would get an accident, I want enough at least to cover the cost of another truck if we needed to. When we first started out, we had looked at several different companies for insurance, and a lot of places wouldn't even insure us due to the fact that we were a startup company. We actually were able to get insurance through OOIDA, or the Owner Operator Independent Drivers Association. This was the most cost-effective insurance we could get at the time, but once we hired more drivers, we found it cheaper to go with a Progressive or another national carrier. I would recommend, if you're starting out, to seriously contact OOIDA to see what they can do for you and your business. They also have the resources to be able to walk you through getting your own authority or anything like that. They are not a sponsor of the show, and I don't get any kickbacks. I just really like their service, and we've been a member ever since we started our company. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video. If you'd like more videos on topics like this, let me know in the comments. Or if there's any other topics that you'd like me to cover, let me know about those also. I'm very grateful to the number of subscribers that I've gained over the past years, and I just want to continue to bring value to you. I wish you the best of luck in your business, and until next time, have a great day.